Recurrent bouts of avian flu, regulatory changes, fluctuating feed and energy costs, and a global pandemic have wreaked havoc in the egg industry, prompting a surge of interest in alternatives.
Avian influenza and things that are really challenging the egg market right now are really bringing to light the challenges around an animal-based supply chain. So, we're seeing issues with availability, we're seeing price volatility, and we're looking for a solution. And our solution that we're bringing to the table is here to stabilize that. We're not here to replace the full egg supply chain, but when you can introduce a product that is actually egg protein, you can help kind of eliminate those swings that we see.
Are you kind of finding that companies are prepared to pay a premium then, or a small premium for kind of stability, peace of mind for their supply chain, seeing you as a kind of hedge, I guess, for the conventional supply chain? Or?
Yeah, so it's interesting because you would think as a company that has a premium product, what we're actually finding, because we're not replacing the entire egg, we're replacing the proteins that matter. There's over 200 proteins that you can find in egg. And what we're replacing with ovoalbumin is the more functional portion that goes into things like bakery. So what we're finding is that customers aren't actually paying a premium. They are either finding something that is equivalent or even costing you savings. And if you stretch that out over the long-term cost of eggs, you actually see savings all around. There's over 200 proteins in egg, and we're not here to replace all of those. We're really just trying to replace the ones that matter. And for us, those are two core ingredients. It's Ovo Pro, which is a ovoalbumin replacement. We can replace up to 50 to 100% of eggs in things like bakery or even prepared foods.
So that's the key protein in egg whites?
Yes. And that's the most functional. We're here to replace the functionality of those proteins. And the second one is Ovo Boost, which is a unique protein. It really showcases the technology around precision fermentation, where we have isolated roughly what can be found 1% in egg white as a highly functional natural emulsifier and 100% soluble with really low flavor.
So this is an individual, like a glycoprotein in egg?
Correct.
Right, okay. What kind of formulations make most sense for that?
So it's very versatile. It could really work in a wide range of beverages. The fun part of this is kind of putting this into a bunch of products and seeing where doesn't it work. But what we've seen that where it really pushes the limits, it can go into low pH beverages like fruits, sodas, things that are carbonated. And those have been historically challenging applications for proteins. Ovo Boost is really interesting because not only can it be used as a 100% soluble protein fortifier, it also has functionality. And where we're seeing that functionality really showcase itself are things in like mayonnaise. So Ovo Boost can be used to replace the emulsifying parts of mayo, which is around the yolk, and we can reduce the overall use of whole egg. So this is really exciting because what that means is if you're a mayonnaise manufacturer, you can cut back on your eggs, replace ours up to 50%, still have the same texture, flavor, still have that identity of egg, and cut back on costs.
So how are your proteins labeled on a food product?
So the one thing that we can look at is we have GRAS no objections. So you can go on the FDA and see the different recommendations that we have. There's really two that stand out. So the one that is most consumer friendly is animal-free egg white protein for both products. And this is really significant because we've done some surveys of our own and showed that consumers are actually embracing that nomenclature. The other one that also works well is egg white from yeast, just because it shows where it comes from. And those are typically the two that we recommend to customers, but ultimately it's up to them to figure out what works best for their target audience. We are producing today in the metric tons, and we have a very straightforward path. Next year we'll be in the hundreds, and then we'll start to see multiples of that every recurring year. So I would say in terms of capacity, it's out there. The biggest thing that we're looking at, what scale do we need to be at to have great unit economics? Essentially next year, we will have profitable unit economics. And that's exciting because it's really the technology that's helping us drive that.
So you forged partnerships with AB InBev and also Ingredient. What are they helping you with?
So AB InBev helped us really understand how we could build a foundation around our technology. How can we get to those types of unit economics? And they were a great foundational partner for us. in terms of technology.
Yeah.
And Ingredion is a company that continues to help us from an investment standpoint. They are one of our investors that came in one of our rounds, and they continue to advise us as we go to market.
Can you speak a bit about the funding environment and whether you've got enough runway to kind of get products out there and tested in the market at reasonable scale before you need to raise more money? You know, it's a pretty challenging environment out there, right?
Yes. So short answer is yes. We do have enough to bring our products out there to market. You know, any startup though is looking to bring in additional funding.
Sure.
One of the things I would say where Every has some excitement here, we are a recipient and awarded a DoD grant, which is going to help us build that runway towards having a manufacturing plant and scaling in the US. So that's very exciting. And as we build upon that momentum, we want to be able to scale up further and beyond that. And so we're hoping to hit milestones where we are showcasing ourselves as somebody who's the right company to put money into.